you're passionate about transforming retail operations and improving performance, plus you're accountable for key change projects and programs in your company, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the Retail Transformation Show with me, Oliver Banks. Hey, and welcome to the Retail Transformation Show. Thank you for joining me today. I am Oliver Banks, your host, and today we're going to explore the keys that you must have to power up your retail reinvention, to power your transformation. But before we get into that, remember, if you've not already subscribed, hit that button and make sure that we join each other every single week for new episodes of the Retail Transformation Show. So by now, I'm sure you know that now is the time of retail transformation, which, let's face it, is nice and easy to say. But transformation, firstly, is a huge topic, and secondly, it's really quite challenging. It's not easy to transform a business, a retail business, particularly if you're working in a huge, grand scale retailer. We're talking about massive change, massive benefits, massive opportunities, but also massive challenges, massive complexity and difficulty. So in today's episode, I'm giving you a framework to be able to assess how your transformation is doing, and more importantly, what it is you can do to improve the chances of delivering successful transformation to your whole organization. Let me introduce you to my transformation trifecta. This is a transformation health check that you can use to assess your transformation, whatever stage you're in, whether you're beginning, whether you're partway through. You'll be able to understand some of the symptoms and signs that you might see in your organization or around your transformation, and you'll pick up some actions and remedies that you can actually do. These are tangible things that you can actually do, as well as some of the things that you need to be careful of, you need to watch out for. So to make your retail transformation a success, it's essential that you really align these three elements. Firstly, you must have a strong will to change. The leadership, the business leadership, the retail leadership must commit to the transformation. They must accept the reality of today's situation, the status quo. If they don't, we'll talk about more if they don't in a second actually, but if they don't commit to what the reality is, they don't have that same drive, that same passion to make change. And that is absolutely essential to being successful. So having that strong will to change, ultimately it creates a burning bridge. It creates a driving point, a decision point. And it forces the issue. It forces the issue of transformation, and it will drive your transformation forward. Secondly, you must have an achievable approach. Now, this is a clear vision that everyone buys into, that everyone supports. Now, with this clear vision, you're going to need a realistic and achievable roadmap to underpin the whole delivery. And then, once you dive in deeper, each of the sub-projects will of course need more detailed plans underneath them. All of these must be achievable, and ultimately that gives you your achievable approach. And the third element you need for successful retail transformation is the right people to do it. You must have the right teams in place to be able to follow through and realize your goals. Easier said than done, I'm sure you know, but it's essential that you have the people with the right attitudes here, and then can equip them with the right skills and capabilities to be able to make change happen. So you've got these three elements, which is the transformation trifecta in itself: a strong will to change, an achievable approach, and the right people to do it. You must have every single one of those. But if you don't, unfortunately, your transformation is at risk and is more likely to fail. So let's just see. If you don't have a strong will, your organization that is, if your organization doesn't have a strong will, but you have the achievable approach, you have the right people, what's going to happen is you're going to be capable of making change. You know how to do it, but no one's going to be up for actually sticking their neck out and making that transformation happen, driving that progress. From a leadership perspective in particular, you're going to be left with frustrated teams and unfulfilled potential. In the next situation, we've got a strong will to change, but you're missing that achievable approach, but you do have the right people. Then what's going to happen is you're going to understand and want to make transformation, and you've got the team to do it, but you just don't know how. And ultimately, that is wasting your talent. It's wasting your teams, your resources, your budget, let's be honest. It's going to cause confusion, and ultimately, it's going to be regretful. You're going to look back at that and think, we missed the opportunity. We understood what we were to do, we had the people, and we just didn't know what to do. And in our third situation, let's say you've got that strong will to change, you understand the achievable approach you need to take, but you don't have the people, nothing's going to happen. Transformation needs people to be able to do the work. So you're going to be left with missed expectations and lost opportunities. That sort of thought of, if only we could have done this, that would have been great, but you didn't, so there we go. So it's easy to see how it's so essential to have all three elements of this transformation trifecta. Now, you may be missing more than just one element, right? The more you're missing, the tougher it's going to be, and the closer you're going to come to certain defeat. So maybe you're thinking that the transformation trifecta sounds good, but life is never quite as black and white as, say, having a strong will to change or not. And you know what? You'd be absolutely right. None of the three elements are a clear yes or no's. Each are sort of scalable. So next, I want to give you some of the detailed symptoms and signs that you may be not at full strength against each of these elements. And we can talk about some of the actions and remedies you must take to be able to improve how strong that element is. Let's kick off with that strong will to change. The question that you must ask yourself is, do you have the right desire to transform? Does your organization have the right desire to transform? Now, what this might look like is it might look like key meetings getting cancelled, governance meetings getting cancelled, not making decisions, reviewing and reallocating resources, particularly away from the transformation, flip-flopping on decision-making. Some of these elements you may see, you may recognize, and these are signs that there is not the strongest will to change. These are signs that you could take action. And there are more symptoms and signs that you may be looking out for. But in the interest of time, I'm not going to go through all of them today. But if you are interested, you can download the full transformation trifecta. Now, this is a pack with all of these symptoms and signs, the actions and remedies, and some watch-outs for all three of the elements. And you can get that at ob&co.uk/11. The number 11, 11, ob&co.uk/11. And you can download that transformation trifecta straight to your inbox today. So what are some of the actions and remedies you can take if you want to improve that strong will to change? Well, firstly, you've got to really understand the challenge that you're facing, that your company, that your organization is facing. You must review the market. You must review the customer experience, the customer journey. Honestly, really honestly, taking a really fresh look at perhaps your store visit. You know, it's not just what are your standards, but really go back to the customer's heart, the customer's eyes. You know, are you walking down the high street? What does it look like from a long way off? How do you approach the store? What does it feel like as you enter the store, as you look around, as you try and make a purchase, as you try and find out some information? You must understand what that is all like from a customer perspective. That will help you understand the status quo. From there, you must build that into an ultimate overarching goal for your transformation. And all of your key stakeholders must sign up for that goal. What can also help here is to build a visualization of what the world will look like once you have achieved that ultimate goal. Really picture what the future will look like. And it may help to have pictures to help people imagine what that would be like. That would really help you to build a strong will to change. Now, this can be quite challenging to be able to get people to commit to that. It can be uncomfortable, particularly if there are certain elements of the organization which are, really falling behind what you want to be committing to as a company. But it's important to face into the problems. It's important not to bury your head in the sand. We've seen too many retailers in the past, and even sometimes today, too many retailers burying their head in the sand and ignoring the real challenges that exist today. Looking at an achievable approach, the question you have to ask yourself is, do you have a clear route to achieve your transformation goals? The symptoms and signs could include not having a roadmap documented that shows the order of change that you need to do and how you're going to realize that ultimate goal, how you're going to realize that vision. Maybe you don't have a program plan in place. Maybe any of the individual projects don't have plans in place. Maybe you find yourself talking about problems too much. And maybe you find governance, in particular governance, gets distracted and goes down rabbit holes. You're not focused on delivering that ultimate goal. These are all signs that you don't have an achievable approach ready to go. You must have an experienced program manager that knows what they're doing with transformation, and they should be working at least alongside the transformation team, but ideally leading the whole transformation. They should be the head of transformation, the figurehead. This is a particular person that knows just what to do, that knows what to look out for, and that will help you a great deal to ensure that you have an achievable approach. You should have a roadmap for your whole transformation. Transformations, as I've already said, are not easy. It's not going to be a one-hit wonder. And if it is, good luck to you. Crack on. Do it. It's complicated. It's multifaceted. And as such, that roadmap needs to happen so you have a clear view of what to do when. And you've broken it down into smaller projects. So you must be able to define the projects that you need to run to deliver the ultimate goal of your transformation. And you must be able to review and audit those projects easily to understand the state of the nation, to understand how your transformation is doing. Is it on track? Is it in danger? If you don't look at the details, you're not going to know. And that will mean you don't really have an achievable approach. The watch out here is that sometimes, let's be honest, everyone has an excuse. Everyone has a reason why some of these elements are missing. Now you've got to understand that reason. Is it people are being lazy, frankly? Is it that they don't know what they're doing? Is it that they're confused? Whatever it is, you must get to the root cause of those excuses, of those reasons. You don't have time to be hoping that it's all going to be okay. You must understand it, and you must overcome those reasons too. Moving on to the third leg of our transformation trifecta, and we've got the right people to do it. The question here, of course, is, are your teams prepared and set up for the journey ahead? Some of the signals that you can look out for are if you have people managing important projects that have never managed a project before, particularly a change project. Maybe you have deadlines that are regularly being missed. Maybe you got projects which are never achieving their full potential. Other signals to look out for include lots of finger pointing and witch hunting when things go wrong. There must always be someone to blame, right? But you're not so focused on actually overcoming that problem. You're more focused on really making sure there's someone responsible that stands up and takes a beating, frankly. Some of the actions that you can take to ensure that you do have the right people to do your transformation include having a mix of experienced and new project managers, people that have delivered big change projects before and people that haven't, but still have the right attitude. You know what I mean? Now, you must ensure these new project managers have got relevant, specific, and actionable project management training and support. As a whole business, you should ensure that you've got standardized templates for consistency and to ensure that everyone is working to the same documentation, everyone is working to the same standards. And you should build a plan for how you can empower project managers, both your new project managers and your experienced project managers, and empower them to different relevant levels so your experienced project managers can take more responsibility, can take more accountability, and ultimately how to encourage your entire transformation team to take true responsibility for the future of your organization, for the ultimate destiny that your transformation is leading towards. The biggest watch out when it comes to setting up the right people to do your transformation has got to be getting those right attitudes in place. It's really difficult to find and hire the right transformation professionals, the right project managers, the right program managers. But look for attitudes first. If they've got the right attitudes in place that you want to inspire to drive your transformation forward, you can then train the technical skills of particularly managing projects to ensure that your team understand how to take it on. You need that mix of some experience and some new, and you'll be able to fire forwards quickly. So that wraps up our transformation trifecta. My support for you today doesn't end here. I've got this transformation trifecta with more details, with more symptoms and signs to look out for, more actions and remedies, and more watch outs against these three elements. And you must assess the health of these three elements to move forward. Look at a strong will to change. Really understand whether you have the right desire to transform. Then look at your achievable approach. Do you have a clear route to achieve your ultimate transformation goals? And of course, finally, look at the right people. Are your teams prepared and set up for that transformation journey ahead? Understand the symptoms and signs that your organization are exhibiting. Then take action, apply the remedies, and make sure to look out for those watch outs that I've given you as well. You can download this transformation trifecta at OB&Co.UK/11. OB&Co.UK/11. And that's the number 11, 11, not in words, the number. The three elements of the transformation trifecta are your foundation. They are the foundation for your whole transformation. And if you don't put your transformation on solid ground from the beginning, you risk instability throughout. So make sure that you've got the basics right, and then you can build the rest of your transformation on top of that. Make sure you've got these three elements of the transformation trifecta right, and then you can really accelerate your transformation. So we're going to wrap up today's episode here. And my ask of you is once again to subscribe. Now, if you've listened to the Retail Transformation Show for a little while, you will know that my ultimate goal has been to be having a mix of solo shows like this one where you hear from me, as well as having special guests on to be able to talk more about transformation and retail change. Now, starting next week, this is why I want you to subscribe, okay? Starting next week, you're going to be hearing from some of these special guests. You're going to be hearing from some of the real transformation experts in and around the retail industry. And I don't want you to miss it. So subscribe now. Make sure you don't miss it. And I look forward to joining you next time on episode 12. I look forward to catching up with you then. And in the meantime, have a great week. See you then.